Hello, fellow Italian language lovers! Welcome back to a new lesson. As you probably spoiled by the title, I'm going to talk about future. Well, actually, how to build future in Italian grammar. Why I did not address this topic earlier? Well, actually because as happens in different languages, grammar-wise, we can still use the simple present when we address to events that are supposed to happen in the future or that will be programmed to happen in the future. Technically, it is a mistake because if you want to be 100% grammar-wise correct, if you are going to address to an action that will happen in the future, you will need to use the future tense. However, it is commonly used simple present. Why? Because often you introduce those actions with time adverbs. And if time adverbs make clear that action will happen in the future, so if you will use time adverbs such as domani, tomorrow, it will be very clear that the action is set to happen in the future. So point number one, future is not that used in Italian language. Point number two, it is because future contains a lot of vowels with accents. And it is quite tricky to master the pronunciation of those kind of vowels, especially because as English speakers, we could be used to stressed vowels. So we increase the length of vowels in English words, such as doors or events. But in Italian, it is often present that kind of vowel with up an accent. The accent changes the pitch of the vowel, like meta or meta. Another example could be the difference between the word ancora and the word ancora. Okay? The accent, it is different, it is placed in different vowels, and that changes the whole pitch, accents of the word. In the first case, we have ancora. So the pitch peaks at the first vowel and then goes back down. Instead, when we pronounce ancora, we have a spike in the pitch accents in the correspondency of the end of the word. Ancora is anchor, the translation for anchor, the thing that keeps the ships anchored to the seabed. Ancora means again. So the meaning is completely different and it changes a lot by the pitch accents. Good news, everyone! The ending of the verbs conjugated to simple future are the same for each one of the three conjugational patterns determined by the thematic vowel are, ere, ire. For instance, let's take a verb that belongs to the first conjugational pattern, are, parlare, to speak. The future tense, simple future tense conjugation will be io parlerò, I will speak. Tu parlerai, this is flat because we don't have any vowel with accents. You will speak. Lui, lei parlerà. He, she will speak. Noi parleremo, we will speak. Voi parlerete, you will speak. Loro parleranno, they will speak. Best part is if we change conjugational pattern, so if we change the thematic vowel and we take a verb that belongs to the second conjugational pattern, ere, like scrivere, to write, the conjugation will be the same. Io scriverò, tu scriverai, lui, lei scriverà, noi scriveremo, voi scriverete, loro scriveranno. And if we take a verb belonging to the third conjugational pattern, ire, things are the same. Like if we take the verb dormire, to sleep, the conjugational pattern will be io dormirò, tu dormirai, lui, lei dormirà, noi dormiremo, voi dormirete, loro dormiranno. So, the pattern repeats itself with every verb, but just beware about that for the first singular person and the third singular person, there will be that change in the pitch accent of the word at the very ending. Well, now that you have basics to handle Italian language future tense, in this second part, I will address to the nasty things, because I just said that the easiest part of future tense it is that all conjugational patterns are the same. However, like happens a lot in Italian language, there are some exceptions. The first big important exception, it is about the two verbs essere and avere, to be and to have. Because in Italian language, their simple future conjugational pattern, it differs from the standard one. In fact, essere is conjugated by the following. Io sarò, tu sarai, lui, lei sarà. Noi saremo, voi sarete, loro saranno. With double N. Avere, to have. Io avrò, tu avrai, lui, lei avrà. Noi avremo, voi avrete, loro avranno. The endings are pretty similar, if not identical. The point is the root of the verb changes, because we are going to conjugate those two verbs not in their infinitive form, but with proper persons. Other exceptions are made by verbs that end with care and gare, because they gain an H after C and G. Like, for instance, the verb navigare. Navigare means literally to sail with your boat. But in Italian language, it is important because it is used instead of to surf, to intend that you are surfing the web. Navigare in internet. The conjugational pattern for navigare is io navigherò, tu navigherai, lui, lei navigherà, noi navigheremo, voi navigherete, loro navigheranno. The H sound makes the G and C hard. And verbs ending in ciare and giare, instead, they lose the I, E vowel after C and G. For instance, we take the verb mangiare, to eat. It becomes io mangerò, tu mangerai, lui, lei mangerà, noi mangeremo, voi mangerete, loro mangeranno. Be careful, it is mangeranno and not mangieranno. This subtle difference is because the E is gone. Some verbs belonging to the first conjugational pattern are irregular because they do not swap the vowel A for the vowel E. Like dare, to give, is gonna be io darò, tu darai, lui, lei darà. Noi daremo, voi darete, loro daranno. Also, fare and stare behave the same way. Fare is to do. Io farò, tu farai, lui farà. Noi faremo, voi farete, loro faranno. And stare, it is the translation for to stay. Io starò, tu starai, lui, lei starà. Noi staremo, voi starete, loro staranno. Some verbs belonging to the second conjugation ere, instead they act as the verb avere, meaning they lose also the second e after the first one. The verb dovere, to have, to, will be conjugated by the following pattern. Io dovrò, tu dovrai, lui, lei dovrà. Noi dovremo, voi dovrete, loro dovranno. Some other verbs are a little bit more complicated because not only they lose the ending, but also the root of the verb changes. You can spot them because they are characterized by the presence of the double consonant R. R, R, venire, to come. Io verrò, tu verrai, lui, lei verrà. Noi verremo, voi verrete, loro verranno. Don't feel silly to rrr up those words, because in Italian language it is important to roll that R properly. Ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed. I hope you enjoyed this video about future tense. If that happened, please like button, subscribe to my channel to be updated to my new releases every week. But the most important thing, remember, speak like a genius. Bye!